What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Base Legend. It is Kevin here for this stream of Sons of the Forest. Hope you guys are doing well. You know what? And actually, that's right. This is Big Heads of the Forest. We're doing Big Heads of the Forest because we're going to play with the Big Head mode on and have some fun with that. Let's go ahead and click back into the game here. There we go. Working on the loading screen, obviously one of the longest loading screens in a recent game that I've been playing, but this game is so robust, we're going to be very, very patient with it, because why complain about something this good? Hey, what's going on? How you doing, boss? I need to figure out how to pronounce that, because with my lack of language skills, I'm going to just take a stab here. Puchaukar? And if I got that right, or within the realm of, like, let me know. But yeah, welcome. Good to have you. And welcome to a big mode, or big head mode, of Sons of the Forest here. Decided to do big head mode after screwing around last time on Sons of the Forest. We just had a little fun here. So I figured we'd have even more fun with big head mode. I'll probably turn on one of the fun filters too. No, I didn't. I'm sorry, man. I have mentioned before I am terrible with names. My apologies. I will get it right soon. Say it as I want to. No, tell me how to say it. Well, you can't really tell me how to say it, but I will learn and get it right. Guess big head mode doesn't activate until we get down on the ground. Oh well. Looks like I need to drop your guys' audio a little bit. That's a little high. I want you guys to hear me. All right, so there's Edward Puffton. There's Barbara Puffton. There's my future wife. And there's where we're landing. Cool, shut down this laptop. Let's get onto the ground and get into big head mode. I'll probably, as I said, I'll probably activate one of the like color filters, you know, just to have some fun with this one. There's a lot of cool options in this game, but I don't know. I never really play with them. I kind of just play this game either as the developers intend or console command through and through. I never really play with these little fun features in here. All right, let's see. We got beach spawn. That's pretty cool. I like beach spawn. You know, out of all of the spawns, beach spawn is kind of one of the more decent ones, you know. Which one is terrible? Lake spawn. You know, actually, I think there's a good one. Like, there's a good reason for each of the spawns. And so let's go ahead and kick our way out of our helicopter here. Boom. It's always 3. It's the rule of 3s. Anything more than 3 is too long. Anything less than 3 is not believable. Alright, so we're just going to head to the light. And there we go. Blocks out here. I don't know when big head mode is going to actually activate in this. I'm really hoping the cutscenes have big head mode. Oh, well, we got a floating gun here. Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't really ready for it. Woo! This is gonna be fun. Alright. So here we are, brand new spawn on the island. I'm only playing on the normal difficulty. I'm not, like, challenging myself or anything like that. I'm already playing with massive heads, and so getting headshots and stuff like that's gonna be super easy. Aw, poor big head Kelvin. You know, I mean, realistically, my whole life everybody's told me I've had a massive head for my body, so this is normal head mode in my opinion. I'm snapping through his chin. Dude. Just grabbed his jaw a little bit there. Amazing. Can you see this thing going through your nose there? All right, just follow me, Kelvin. There you go. All right, let's go ahead. He's going to just follow me. We got some stuff that we got to collect here. So we're going to collect. I'm going to try to avoid using console commands until I get bored. That's kind of how it works at this point. After you figure out the console commands and you've beaten this game a bunch of times without it, you're kind of like, what's the point, you know? All right, so anyway, all the basic gear here. God, inventory just looks so bare when you first start this game. And you just fill it up. Okay, so first order of business is we got to just kind of get all of these pieces of gear. Make a couple pieces of loot and armor and just other stuff like that. So also, in addition to these crates, there's also a handful of ones under the surface too, because the helicopter is on the map. It's down here. It's underwater, but you kind of need the rebreather before you're going to be able to get it. And so you can actually see the helicopter on the GPS here. It's all the way out there. All the gear is still in there, you know, and so there is a way to kind of get it all here. All right. But to be honest with you, you can do pretty much everything with your survival axe here. Come on, big head. Let's do this. So grab our axe. Just put that on the bar for right now. Might as well just activate some of these menus so that way I don't have to deal with them when the time comes. Oops. All right, so first order of business, we need to kind of get a couple supplies. Zoom out a little bit. So as you can see, we got our location here. So we got the flashlight. We got, could you see that? Yeah, there's the flashlight over there is the top exclamation mark. That one over there is the shotgun, which we won't be able to get for a while. And then out in the water up there is the pistol. And so what we're going to do is we're going to hit up the pistol first and then circle back, get a couple other things before we start diving into a couple caves. First cave up is the rebreather cave, which is right next to where we're spawned, if I remember correctly. This should be the rebreather cave right over here. Yep, that's the rebreather cave. And so we're not going to open this one up just yet. There's no point in opening up these... I was waiting for big-headed bats. I'm sorry. Every time I look at Kelvin, it's just going to be ridiculous to me. All right, let's head into the forest. I'll bet you that the enemies out here are going to be super easy to spot now. All right, let's start collecting some leaves because that's going to be our first source of armor. And we're not going to be able to dive into any of these caves here without some leaves. So we'll get some leaves, we'll get some sticks. Just start working our way over to the other coastline there. Oh, let's see what else we can kind of get into. Large flat ground's always good to find stuff on. So we're going to hop up here and see what we can see. Just a couple of totems over there. Nothing worth going to. So we want to head to this middle exclamation mark on the map. That's the one that has the pistol in it. The pistol is, of course, out in the middle of the water. And there's two significant locations. Should probably go ahead and use these meds here. There's two significant locations that have sharks in them. One is right next to that pistol. And the other one is, look at the big-headed bunny. Look at the big-headed bunny. That's amazing. And the other one is the, tribals. What's going on, big-headed tribals? What's wrong with your eyes, bro? What is that? You got a propeller? That's amazing. Get off the tree. Get off the damn tree. I'd cut down a tree to get somebody off of one of those. Whoa, he spun around quickly. So I do not have any armor on. And all I really have right now is my survival axe. Probably could get some other weapons and stuff. I mean, I'm not that far away from the fire axe, if I remember correctly. Let me actually go down to the road here where Kelvin ran off to. Hey, bud. You doing okay? You're covered in blood, but you look like you're doing okay. Hey, bud. Why are you looking at me weird? Meant to hit the dodge button. Forgot which button I put the dodge on. We'll just run down here to the road, get away from this guy. You know what? What kind of, yeah, see, I still haven't picked up, like, anything worthwhile. Huh. I have picked up one thing worthwhile. Enjoy. That was pleasant, wasn't it? Okay, let's it's the cultists out in the middle of the road here. If I remember correctly, I should probably have some of these locations memorized. The cultists should be big heads too. Just gonna throw it out there. The cultists should be big heads. But if I remember correctly, we're not that far away from the fire axe. I think. Maybe. We'll find out soon enough. But there's like a camp next to one of these roads. But yeah, picking up some of the early equipment is always nice. Finding the camps is always nice early on. Getting some more healing something would be really nice. Took a hit from that propeller. That was not fun. There's a golf cart over there. Let's see what bunker this is. We'll sneak into this one. Is this the food bunker? If this is the food bunker, we could actually load up on a couple decent supplies in here, even though we don't have the key card. But not only is there a ton of food inside of the food bunker, but there is a bunch of arrows. And as soon as we get some rope, I could go ahead and just craft a bow. Babies! Some of these babies aren't big head. Why aren't these babies big-headed babies? Don't know if I like that. I thought I saw a big-headed something in here. Is there a rope that I'm missing here or something? No. Oh, this is an exit for a cave. That's what's going on here. I always hate when you stumble onto, like, the exit for a place. That's no fun. Oh, man. The big head dudes just, they make me laugh. I have, like, no health right now, though. So this probably will not go over well. Nope, see? Yeah, you got me. The joys. Whatever. Alright, so we get captured. You always get a second turn here. Let's free ourselves from the ooze. And try to actually get some weapons. Some gear. I probably shouldn't be inside of a cave, to be honest with you, without any gear or anything. You know how it goes. Alright, let's get on out of here. Start collecting more gear. Did I just turn around again? Back off, dude. I'm trying to run away from you. My health is down to like 2%, by the way. Oh, it got back up. I didn't realize that my health respawned. That's a first. And there we go. All right, so let's just get back out here. I think that there's an axe. The fire axe is around this way. Still don't want to use console commands yet. It'll happen. It'll happen. They'll reach a point where I get tired of walking around in the forest. Oh, I guess I should wait for Kelvin. You want to get in, bro? Are you in? Yeah. Hop in. Come on. Let's go. All right, so let's zoom back on that. Just take a golf cart. So yeah, it'll happen. I'll eventually get tired of walking around or driving golf carts and stuff. And I'll just use console commands, get all the items, start flying around on a glider. It's the way to go. Don't know why, but I thought I could just drive through that tree. Can you tell that I rarely use the golf carts in this game? Big-headed raccoon. I love this. I'm sorry, but seeing Gianu right off the bat with a massive head, that was hilarious. Like, that was one of the funniest things I've ever witnessed in this game. Go up here. Don't go down. Go up. Yeah, there we go. Big-headed deer on the side. Look at a deer. Look at a big-headed deer. That's amazing. Heh. Sorry. Had to. Well, I mean, I guess I didn't have to, but, like, that's awesome. Collect that hide ammo, or armor. And, get our trophy here, too. Alright, whatever. Forget the golf cart. Let's go ahead and just keep moving here. Where am I? Right up here. This is where we want to go. Just to make sure. Whew. Running too much stuff here. Alright, so that's a cannibal camp down there. So that means that is it this one? There's just like a regular camp around here, and that's got the fire axe in it, but I don't feel like finding it. Let's just avoid that for right now, because we do not have the resources to deal with it. Check where we're at. Alright, so we're getting pretty close up to the coastline again. So let's get down to the coastline, because there's a camp down there that has a cooking pot and a machete. And the machete is my melee weapon of choice in this game. Ooh, bone pots. So early on, instead of cooking bodies, there's these just gore pots. Pots of just flesh and bone and stuff like that. Didn't realize it for the longest time, but you can just smack those open and get skulls and bones and a few other... I think there's a few other things that you can get from there, too. God, I love the big-headed animals. I was not expecting the big-headed animals. I think I saw one big-headed squirrel when I was doing the last stream. But man, that is a nice touch. Was not expecting to see the big-headed just raccoons and all of that. I will say headshots are going to be way too easy now. Alright, got a little campsite here. Got some rope. That's nice. Be able to actually do something. And by do something, I mean make armor. So, that's nice. Rifle ammo. That's fantastic, but I'm just so far away from a rifle right now. I should be able to grab the stove Like, I feel like that's one of the items in this game that I should have access to, is that stove. It just, you have access to the cooking pot, but not the stove. Like, make it, you could make a fuel-based stove system. I feel like that's kind of, I feel like it was something that they intended. That's why that exists. And then they just never fully implemented it. Gotta love early Sons of the Forest resource gathering. Got the binoculars there. Always handy. You know, actually, I say always handy, but to be frank, I don't think I've ever used the binoculars for any legitimate practical purpose in this. Like, maybe to look at something, you know, while I'm just screwing around in the game. But I don't think I've ever actually looked at the binoculars and been like, oh, yeah, cool, I can finally see enemies from a distance or whatever. Like, I don't know. This game, it eventually reaches a point, like, you start off, you have absolutely nothing. But unlike the forest, it takes no time at all to quickly get, like, overpowered to where you can take out the mutants and all of that super easily. There's a hang glider up there. I'm just going to take the hang glider. That's going to be so much easier. Because this first exclamation mark is the shotgun. We can't go to the shotgun until we've had, what's it called? We can't get to the shotgun until we get the shovel. And you can't get the shovel until you get the rope gun. And you can't get the rope gun until you get the rebreather. And so there's a lot of barriers in this game that are not necessarily barriers, you know? Let me know if the stream's messing up for you guys. I got an error popping up over here, but sometimes that's not necessarily means that it's dropping out. But either way. All right, let's grab this hang glider over here. Let's find this hang glider over here. There it is. And then we'll fly down, get our machete, which is always fantastic. So there we go. And then hop on down here. Nothing better than sailing around in this game in a hang glider. I'm terrified that one day they're going to add collision for, like, landing and stuff like that. And they're not going to really, like, they're going to put it in, like, the bottom of a patch note or something like that. And so all the players are just going to dive in one day and just start flying around in their hang gliders and go to land and just immediately dive bomb right into the ground. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right, so as tempting as it is, I think there's something like right down here in these alcoves, like a camp on the beach or something. But as tempting as it is, we don't want to stop here. We want to keep going to this this icon out here. You know, I've never tried it, but I bet you I could thread the needle and get a hang glider directly into that raft over here and get the pistol that way. I'm gonna do it. Let me get the machete first, and then I'm going to save it, and then we're gonna give that a go. Might lose the hang glider, but there's another one right here to my left, so no harm, no foul. And over here is, you can kind of see it there. It's a little orange speck on the screen, but that is the pistol in that orange speck over there. We're going to make a little turn off here to the coast, though, because right next to the pistol, is it right next to the pistol? I might be thinking of a different location. I am thinking of a different location. It is the rebreather cave that I'm thinking about. It's across the way from the rebreather, so kind of where I spawned. Kind of messed that up a little bit. I probably didn't need to do all that. Let's go up here and just check out this monument. There's a rope here. Is there anything up on top? Well, that was a waste of everybody's time. I'm going to break this just because that was a waste of my time. Except for the fact that this is also going to be a waste of my time. So, there we go. Okay, so I guess if that's the case, then we're going to do this. Let's go ahead and pull our hang glider out. God, this inventory looks so bare. All right, you know what? Let's not be stupid. Let's go ahead and place a tent. Just save this real quick, because either one of two things is going to happen. I'm going to fall in the water and completely miss what I'm going for, or I'm going... Oh, you know what? I can't replace that save. That's the mega base. That would have been funny. Oh, man. All right, so let's go ahead and get our hang glider out again. Let's see if we can get a pistol without having to swim through shark-infested waters. So far, good approach. So I don't want to hit it too fast, because then I'll just like plop right through it. Don't want to hit it too slow, because then I might not be able to... I don't know. I also probably should be approaching it from the other angle. Well, moment of truth. Oh, right there. All right, can I get this back? Can I get this back? And then this was ultra successful. Oh, don't fall in, don't fall in. Get out. Get out of the... Oh, that sucks. Come on. Don't grab the pistol. Get in the damn thing. Whew. Okay, well, I didn't get eaten by a shark. That's fantastic. But you know what? That hang glider, if I just let that thing sink, this would have worked so well. How's it going? There's Team B, one of our members here. Let's see, a flare. Forget that flare. Don't need that flare. Give me that so that way I don't trigger that every single time. All right, whose book is that? Patrick M. Knight's Holographic World. I actually don't know any lore or backstory about that, so I'm just going to keep walking. Where's the shark? There's a shark that circles this thing, so we just got to be a little patient before I take off. I don't really have the health to make it back if a shark does get a bite on me. So I just got to be a little patient here. Also, where's this shark? I mean, let's be real here. Okay. Oh, there he is. There he is. Waiting for him to get over that way a little bit. And away we go. So yeah, that was actually relatively easy. Highly recommend just using the hang glider to get into that raft instead of trying to swim out there. It makes things so much simpler. All right, let's get back to the coastline here. We got a flashlight to get. We got health that we need to find. I still only got like 20% health over here. And so we should be able to find some more medicine soon. We got to get a flashlight too. Ooh, it's starting to get nighttime. Time's it. Currently 5:20 in game. So that's nice. So there's some stuff that's just like washed up on the beach. And it's... Where's that? It's like a little alcove over here. So let's find that real quick. There it is. That's nice. Just some miscellaneous stuff. There's a cooking pot. Finally got one of those. Guess I didn't need to activate the radio. Okay. So now we got to go find our flashlight, or a torch, as it's referred to in this game. We do already have a camp set up over there, but it's too close to, like, the the cannibals over there. Let's go ahead and have some dinner real quick, though. Gotta love these Sloppy Joe MREs. And an energy drink. Keep our energy up because we are going to have to find a flashlight in the middle of the night. Man, I kind of feel like let's just waste another tarp. I think I actually replenished the tarp that so let's just do this. Be a little smart, right? Get a stick. Make a tent. And just sleep till morning. Nice. Alright, so now that we are rested, go ahead and eat another Sloppy Joe. Because why not, right? And more energy drink. Because why not, right? It's also the only liquid that we had that was accessible to us. Alright, so next order of business is heading to our flashlight. So if that's the shotgun, then this is the flashlight right here. It's going to take a little bit, but big-headed Kelvin. Come on, bro. Keep up. Let's go. God, that thing must weigh like 20 pounds or something like that. That's crazy. All right. It has so far made spotting the other enemies in the forest has made that a hell of a lot easier. That's for sure. All right, and I still need to make some armor. Actually, what kind of armor can we make right now? We got 3 pieces of rope. We got 4 pieces of bone, so we can make 1 piece of bone armor. That's nice. That's pretty. Let's go ahead and make that bone armor real quick. Wear that immediately. Don't have any cloth, so we can't do any leaf armor. Can make a crafted club and a crafted spear. What's the point? Don't really want to waste any of our stuff doing any of that yet. So let's go ahead and keep on moving here. And we'll head on up, get our flashlight. Stop at any points of interest along the way. I am actually excited because early on in the game, like the enemies are kind of afraid of you when you first arrive on the island. Like they don't really understand who you are, why you're there, that type of stuff, and so they watch you from a distance, and then like occasionally they'll get close to you just to, like check you out or something like that. But very rarely do you get attacked in the first couple days of this game. Like it's pretty safe, pretty just kind of easy going to run around. That changes pretty quickly, but so far, like just seeing the big heads pop up in the distance is hysterical. Let's let our stamina revive here or regenerate. So there's several things that we're going to be grabbing up here. Let's see if I remember the whole order, but it's like the shock baton is over here. The flashlight is over here. We're also going to stop up and get the can opener while we're in this neck of the woods. There's just a handful of really good loot that you need to, in my opinion, that you should grab before you head into any of the caves. You also, again, my personal opinion here, but you also want to make as much armor as possible for yourself. Not only just to wear, but just backup armor to switch to when you have taken several hits. Going into the caves, it's pretty easy to get blindsided in this game, even with big head mode. And so if you put on some better armor and you kind of learn how to, I'm rambling. That's kind of how it works when you stream, isn't it? You just ramble to yourself for a while. And then eventually people start talking to you, and it's a really fun time. Rambling's actually a fun time, too. See, it's funny. My wife says I talk a lot, and so becoming a streamer was almost natural for me. All right, let's go ahead and Man, is there anything else that we want to stop and get? Or are we just going to do a straight shot over to this thing? And we're pretty much like right there. Big heads. There they are. It's like normally they'd be a little difficult to see. Not when they got massive heads like that. Let's just start working our way over here real quick. So with the flashlight, oh, that was another big head right there. A little scared. We'll let that one live. Tell your friends. Okay, so with where we're heading, there's like 2 levels to it. Basically, they hung the guy who has what we're going after here. And so you want to chop him down before you just go to this location. And so we're not going to go to the exclamation mark. We're going to go above the exclamation mark. That was a skunk. Keep running. Don't want to bother getting sprayed. But yeah, you can either go that way, and that's where his body is going to drop, or you come all the way up here, and this is where his body is strung up. Hey, big head. You got really close. What are you afraid of? Don't back up. If you're going to run at me, like, don't stop, right? Okay, he dead. Gotta let my stamina get up here. Man, even with the big heads, it's just a pain to see them a little bit. Alright, whatever. Let's go chop this guy down. Here we go. A little rope, a little food, some vodka, and choppity chop. Alright, you can jump down there if you want to break a leg, or you just run all the way over here. So I'll switch on to filter in a little bit. Any requests in the chat for which filter are we doing? Are we doing 90s or 80s? Is it 80s or 70s? There's also a black and white red only filter. I'm not doing the found footage one. That one is a little too painful to do in this game. It's a cool filter, but yeah. I think I'm going to turn one on here. All right, so there we go. Here's our flashlight. That's fun. Go ahead and put that away for right now. Don't need it. Still have 0 cloth, which is a shame. All right, so we got some new crafting here. Anything I care about? Nothing I care about. Oh, well. Got a pistol. Let's go ahead and equip that. I'll put that on 3. 4 shots. Decent. Not bad. Ooh, when did I get medicine? I don't remember picking up medicine, but I'll take it. Let's recharge our health. Thought I saw 2 Kelvins for a second. That was weird. Okay, so let's be sensible about this. About as sensible as it can get, right? It's probably the stupidest thing I've done in a while, but here we go. So I do want to make sure that on this big head playthrough, we do befriend Virginia. So that way we can go ahead and... I'm not staying on the island as a big head. I'm getting out of here. Ooh, Giano camp. Hang on. We're going to go down and check this out. This might be the axe that I was talking about earlier. Because there's a camp pretty early on that has an axe. Like a fire axe. What up, what up? Oh, man. Just 1 minute too late and I could have saved them. There's the axe. Ah, the modern axe. Not the fire axe, the modern axe. Still a fantastic axe. Better damage. A little bit slower if I understand or if I remember correctly. But, man, I already am full up on bricks. Do we have enough to make any explosives? No coins. That was a shame. Oh, well. Can't do anything with those bricks. I feel like there should be more you could do with C4 than just make those explosive devices. Like, I mean, I'm not complaining. You know, great explosive devices, you know. Fantastic C4. But still, I feel like there's just more you could do. Alright, switch back to my small axe. Don't really need the modern axe. Hey, 311. thank you very much for the subscribe. We appreciate you. And I say we because I'm not the only streamer on this channel. Jay, my buddy Jay, and I both work together on this channel. New arrivals. Who is Jack Holt? What is he doing here? Puffton didn't have any friends. Chuck. Quick explanation. I'm Jack Holt. The name of your character is Jack Holt. You are an investigative journalist and author, and you wrote a book. Is that your book? Is that the book? No, I don't think that. Wait. Hey. Found a use for the binoculars. Hey. There we go. The Tactical Guide to War Ammunitions, Lieutenant Chuck Dagger. Oh, so, okay, wait, is that the Chuck of the letter that I just got? That's kind of cool. Weird that he had his own book on him. Like, was he reading his own book for comfort? That's kind of weird. Oh, well. All right, just grab some of this stuff. Love some coins, so I could make some explosives. Yeah, I already got a cooking pot. All right. Oh, there she is. Hey, girl. Hey, big-headed girl. I'm sorry. I tried to keep a straight face, but I couldn't. The dancing. The big-headed dancing. I'm sorry, but this is why I like horror. Because there's no other genre that could do something this ridiculous and get away with it without it being just like, wow, that's so kiddie, that's so cartoony, you know? Like, no, it's a horror game, you know? Maybe when you land on this island, everybody just big heads it up, you know? All right, see you later, Virginia. Good dance. I liked it. Kelvin, why'd you have to approach her, man? So, yeah, we're just trying to be patient. I am doing the Virginia ending, and so that means we do have to befriend Virginia. We don't want to do anything scary. See, she's already a little freaked out. What, are you eating something over there? Why are their heads big? I have big head mode on. And so it is a literal option in the menu. And we played with it the last time, like right at the end of the stream that I was doing. And I was kind of bored with it. But at the same time, I was so intrigued about how far you could take big head mode, what enemies it would affect, etc. And so that's what we're rocking right now. We are intentionally making their heads big. All right. So now that we got some of this gear here, and we're starting to have a successful playthrough, we can start moving up to some of the more, I don't want to call it advanced loot and stuff. But there's some other gear that we want to get before we get too far into the game. Primarily, we want to get a can opener because it's a great source of food because it doesn't expire. And it also helps with your hydration a little bit when you eat wet cat food. And so we want to go ahead and get the can opener so we can get another source of food. And then we want to also get, there's a shock baton up here as well. And the shock baton, I mean, admittedly, I don't know. I don't know your opinions on the shock baton in this game. It's a fun weapon to use, but it's just that, in my opinion, it's a fun weapon. It's not the type of weapon that, like, you want to get caught with, you know? It's not the type of weapon that you're like, okay, cool, I got my shock baton, let's do this. You know, it's the type of weapon where you're like, oh, cool, I got a shock baton. What does that do? Stab. Okay, cool, give me my machete. You know, like, it's a fun weapon to just experiment with and play with. But we might as well grab it if we're going to go right in front of it, right? There's also another cave up here, too. I'm not entirely sure which cave this is. This might be the rope gun cave, if I remember correctly. There's a good chance I'm wrong about that. To be honest with you, we're playing a lot of different games on this channel. So, like, the other day, I was playing Sons of the Forest here, which was made by End Night Games. I'm going to do it correctly right off the bat. And I said that this game was made by Creepy Jar. This game was not made by Creepy Jar. Creepy Jar made Green Hell, which is another game that we stream on this channel. All right, there's the slingshot. Fun little projectile weapon. First piece of cloth. Finally got some cloth. And then... I thought there were some coins over there. All right, so we still don't want to open up any of the caves just yet. I mean, we could and start facing some of the harder enemies, but what's the point, right? There's no need. We got our slingshot now. David, these Goliaths. All right, let's get up this mountain. So the next location that we're going to head to is this mountainous cave that's kind of right in front of us. What's that direction? So that would be to the east of where we're at, because that's north, just so everybody sees it. That's north over that way. So this is where we're heading. It's up to the east. There's this cave. Let me turn so you guys can see it for a sec. There's a cave up there in the wilderness, in the snow up there. And that cave is the one that's going to have our can opener in front of it. So we do got to get up into the snowy areas for a little while here. But it's okay. We'll manage. After we do this, then we get the fun privilege of flying all the way down from the mountaintop here, back down to the helicopter where we just were to go do the rebreather cave. And that's just how it works in this game. Just got to run all around the map to start unlocking gear. And the sooner you can kind of do the gear unlocking path, the better. All right, let's see if I can keep doing the Skyrim parkour up these mountains here. Looking a little steep. Man, so this game in early access, one of my favorite little bugs that they had in it is there was like, you could literally scale up vertical surfaces for the most part, like mostly vertical surfaces. If it just like, if there was a little bit of an incline, you could scale up it. And so there's a fantastic speed playthrough of this game in early access. It's like 14 minutes long because the guy spawns in and just starts running over the mountain to the end game. He glitches through the final wall, defeats the end boss, and then like that's that. It's fantastic. There's like just one piece of armor that you need to get. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so here we are at this mountaintop cave. So we're just going to grab a little bit more of the loot. The can opener is right here. And so it's a little hard to see in the snow there, but it's right next to this first tent that you come up to. So very important to get. Okay, now that we actually have some cloth, how many pieces do we get? 3. Waste them all. And start making some Molotovs. Because we want to make sure that our inventory starts stocking up as soon as possible. Grab these other vodka bottles, and there's also some cloth on these sleds that we can grab. Not much, but enough to at least just grab something. So there we go. We got the can right there. The cat food, it's not the best resource in the world, but you know, like it's going to get the job done if you need food. You can also cook with it, I think. There's like 1 or 2 recipes that need cat food. Always worthwhile to actually cook in this game. It's a little underrated, but there's a lot of buffs attached with cooking. Like if you drink chicken noodle soup, your character will stay warmer longer and stuff like that. All right, so here we are inside that cave. The reason we went into this cave as opposed to the other caves is this cave did not have any boards in front of it. The ones that are locked up, those are the ones that are going to have some significant enemies inside of it, the mutants that we got to deal with and stuff like that. But if it is not boarded up, like I think there's maybe one of these caves that's going to have some babies in it or something like that. But it's nothing significant. It's nothing severe. And so that's why we did it. That's why we just kind of jumped in here without really thinking about it, because we wanted to get this note here. So it says Site B, and then there's an inversion point in the middle, and then there's Site A. And so if you're not familiar with this game, there's a lot of alien lore about it, or multidimensional lore about it. There's a lot of like just a lot of stuff that overlaps with the lores. There's also a cross and demons, and like the cross, if you hold it up to the demons, it catches them on fire. So there's every single type of science fiction fandom for the most part. Is there vampirism in this? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if you can drink blood or not. I wouldn't be surprised if they added a little bit of vampirism or like werewolves or something like that. Is that Kelvin or is that an enemy? That's an enemy. Was he harassing you, Kelvin? Was he being mean to you? Let's blow his brains out. Hey, why are you walking away? Huh? So that's a shame. I just learned that with big head mode, you can shoot through their heads. Don't like that. So you still have to get a headshot in like the traditional headshot location, even in big head mode. Judging that. I'm going to judge the hell out of that. I don't like that. I feel like if you're going to have a big head mode in the game, that's the head. That's the collision point, you know? And so, whatever. You know, we're still going to enjoy it for what it is. Man, I can't make another one of these. I was gonna make another one and then just equip it. But, whatever. Calvin, you might want to back up, bud. Probably not the smartest idea to do this, like, in real life. But I'm legit curious. I've never done this before. I've never caught ice on fire in this game with a Molotov. So I wonder if it's going to melt at all. Put our lighter away. Calvin, you stay back. It's fire. What's up, bro? Yeah. Did I get it? Did I get it? I didn't get it in time. Oh, well. All right, so let's get all of this bone stuff here. This is so different from the original. Yes. Very, very much so. And you have to approach it as two separate games, in my opinion. And that, you know what, to the devs' credit, I think that's why they went with Sons of the Forest as opposed to The Forest 2 or The Forest Part 2 or whatever. Because when you look at it as kind of a standalone experience, it's so much more action-oriented. There's not as much horror in it. It's more of a thriller. You know, it's a good game. Like, don't get me wrong. It's one of my favorite current games. But it's still, there's so much more that this game would have been, could have been, should have been if it went the route of The Forest, which is true hardcore horror. And so, can't complain about that. Okay, so there's these two lakes over here. And I think it's that one. And that is the Shovel Cave. That might be the Shovel Cave. But either way, we want to go ahead and just swing by it real fast. Or glide by it, I should say. That was punny. And we'll just glide on by to pick up a couple of the supplies that are over there. That is where the shock baton is located, is over by this cave. So I'm pretty sure it's this one. It's either this one or the other one that's kind of more out and towards the open. And I'd rather kind of check out this one first because I'm fairly confident it's this one. What? Rude. Gotta love when you just hit a tree as you're running or flying. Thought I was over that tree line, but whatever. We're pretty close to this thing. So it's not too far away here. That's what pretty close means. I do like the original Forest, though. That's one that I'll open up and play one of these days, is the original Forest. That one's fun. There's a lot more emphasis on building in the original Forest, where Sons of the Forest, like, there's no real point in building a base. And that has been discussed by a lot of the people who play this game. You don't need to build a base, but I mean, obviously this is Base Legends, so we're going to spend every single playthrough investing something into a base. But I don't know. I mean, the original Forest, there was actual practicality in having a base, you know, like everything was more or less centralized, or you could get to it fairly quickly. So that way, like, if you're on one end of the map, it doesn't take you that long to traverse the entire other side. This, without a hang glider, it could take you a couple hours to get to the other side of the map just because of the terrain, the enemies that you're going to encounter, etc. And so, I mean, as you just saw, I stupidly flew a little low with my hang glider, and now I have to run the rest of the way here because it's uphill. And so, that's my fault. Can't blame myself. Well, I can blame myself. That's what I meant to say. I can only blame myself. And you can't get mad for conundrums that you cause. It's a rule of life. All right, so we are pretty much at this cave. Let's see if this is the right one. This is actually not the right one that we were going for. We need to go to that other lake, which is fine. This lake should have a couple things in front of it. This is still going to be a fenced-off one. This is one of the caves that we're going to need to go into in just a little bit. But this cave is actually the Gold Armor Cave. You can always tell that it's the Gold Armor Cave because of the cultists right in front of it. We're not going to bother going inside of that one just like the others until we have a couple pieces of gear that we're going to need. That is, if it's either got to be the longest cave in this game or the second longest cave, with the hell cave, the lava cave at the end being the longest. It's got to be one of those two. Okay, so there's Ancient Armor Cave. That's Shovel Cave over there, which means that that's the lake that we want to get to. That's a pain. All right, let's break out the glider again, and let's take little to no time here. Gotta love replaying this game, though. I feel like I just did a playthrough not too long ago for the Mega Base build that we were working on, and like that was what, only a couple weeks ago that I was playing through this. Gotta love this game. All right, let's go ahead. Oh, you know what? I just realized I didn't put this one in the Discord. Y'all give me just 1 minute here. I want to drop this in the Discord. Have you guys joined the official Sons of the Force? Official, unofficial Sons of the Force Discord? That's always a great time. But they great group of people, just so you guys know. Fantastic group of people. But make sure to join it. It is, I'm pulling it up right now. I'm pretty sure it's just Discord, like SOTF. But it is fantastic either way. Oof, all my meat is all rotten. That's not fun. What's going on here, Discord? Why are you being all slow? Yeah, exactly. Like, there's some, like, don't get me wrong, I love a good horror game, but when you have really gone way too far into Sons of the Forest and stuff like that, and like other horror games and things like that, it doesn't, like, it's I don't know, it's hard to scare me. Like, we've been doing this for like 6 months. I've been playing a lot of horror games, you know. But it was only in the stream that I did, yesterday or the day before when I played Vane. I can't remember that. That's how much crazy my life is. Everything is just that much of a blur. But so when I was doing that Vane stream, I just walked into a building and I didn't check my corners, and a zombie just came running at me. And it was the first time that I've actually been on camera and recorded myself doing a jump scare, like actually having a little bit of a jump scare. That's cool to me. It's been a long time since I've had a jump scare, you know? And so if a game can actually scare me, somebody who's been so desensitized, probably over 25 years of watching various horror movies and content and just everything. Like, I grew up when, like, Faces of Death was a thing and stuff like that. And so, and I'm not trying to, like, dox myself or anything like that. But my birthday is very close to Halloween. Wow, that was a very convenient place to land, right next to those dudes. My birthday is very close to Halloween. And so Halloween has always been one of my favorite holidays, to the point where I would always really... What's a way to play this or say this without making me sound crazy? To where I would not only look forward to Halloween, but there would be events around Halloween that I would not only look forward to, but it would be like requirements to go to. One of those was the Saw movies. They would always release a new Saw movie back in the day, right around the Halloween time. And so I would always go to a Saw movie right at Halloween. It's fantastic. Highly recommend doing that. All the crazy horror people go out at that time. But I'm one of those people that, like, in the Saw movies, that gore is so unrealistic that I'm one of those people who annoys other people by sitting there in the theater laughing whenever something crazy happens. Just because it's funny to me. Like, I don't know. There's probably some therapist out there that's just like, oh, that's trauma or something like that. Probably. You know, that's probably accurate. But, oh, well. When you start watching horror movies at the age of like 9, there's going to be consequences, right? What's your guys' favorite horror movie? Anybody can respond. I don't really care. We'll talk about pretty much any of them. My personal favorite horror series, it's a hard one. I'm a big fan of the Alien franchise. And I mean like the original Alien movies, probably up until Resurrection. Look at this turtle. Look at the turtle. Oh, that's so cool. Oh man, I want you. Can you be my friend? I know I'm gonna try to kill you right now, but like, be my friend. I'm taking this turtle with me. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the Alien series. The original Alien. But I would say, ooh, the VHS movies. I keep running over those on what streaming network has them right now, and I'm like, oh man, that's been a while since I watched those. I might. You saying that kind of might be what I'm watching tonight. It's been a while since I've seen VHS. I'm also gonna throw out there that probably one of my favorite horror movies of all time is John Carpenter's The Thing. There is something about that level of horror, specifically the blood testing scene. There is something, hey, big head Kelvin, what's up, buddy? There is something so fantastic about that movie. It's fantastic. Great movie. Let's turn this radio off. Sorry, that's what distracted me there. Got a spear. Some other just miscellaneous crap. As much as I want to take that Night 5 with me, I am terrible at riding around in the Night 5s. But yeah, John Carpenter's The Thing, and that's, you have to say it that way, because there is a second Thing that came out that is like the prequel to The Thing, but it is not the John Carpenter, okay? And you have to see the original John Carpenter The Thing. If you haven't seen that is the movie that, in my opinion, my humble opinion, changed the face of horror forever, because it allowed the horror to be unknown, and it played on a psychological level, you know, whereas the other movies that were coming out in that similar time frame, you know, you look at like a lot of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, you look at a lot of the Friday the 13th movies and stuff like that, it was a big brooding killer. You know, the Halloween movies, another great example, the slasher films, the classics. Can we call the slasher films the classics? You know, talking about them like there's some Shakespearean text or anything like that. But anyway, but then you look at a movie like The Thing by John Carpenter, and you're like, the way that's when horror content, in my opinion, went from horror and being horrific, you know, to being terror. And it's actually terrifying. That is one of the first movies that ever had me on the edge of my seat through most of it. And then when the remake came out, which was kind of like the prequel to it, I even thought that they did a great job, because they paid homage to the same concept, and they do the whole it's teeth. Instead of doing a blood test, they recognize that it can't recreate inorganic material, and so they have to check each other's fillings, because back in the day, fillings were made out of metal. Look at the two-headed deer. Well, it's two deer right next to each other, but it's two-headed. That's amazing. I love that. That's so cool. All right, let's go ahead and keep swimming along here. Got a little camp up here that we're just going to check out. This is going to have a bunch of bones in these pots. You know what? This might be a camp that I'm going to pause at for a second. This looks like a good opportunity to make a little bit more armor. Yeah, because I'm rocking a full stack of those. Is that a full stack? 14? I'm trying to remember if it is. Oh, well. That's the thing. When you're a parent, man, like especially of a 2-year-old, she's napping. When you are a parent, you get so used to just, I don't know. My memory's terrible at this point just because I'm so busy and hectic. And so it just makes... What? Do I not? Oh, I don't have enough bones. All right. Anyway, I don't even know what I was trying to say with that, so I'm just going to shut up and keep moving along. Let's go ahead and... Any of these things have some bones in them? Skull? Don't care about a skull. Bone? Bone. That's nice. Bone? No, that's a stump. Bone? Well, that might allow me to make, what, one more piece? That's cool. We'll do that. So yeah, Jay may actually hop on again after me tonight, and keep going with some more Once Human or something else. We live on opposite ends of the country, and so like I'm on the West Coast here, he's on the East Coast, and so we try to sync up and do some co-op streams too. It has just been one of those days, weeks, months where doing streams has been incredibly difficult to sync up and do multiplayer. All right, let's find a safe way to get down here. It is also about 5:30 in-game. All right, so this cave... is this the rope gun cave? Actually, this might be shovel cave now that I'm thinking about it. But either way, we'll get it done. Really? Okay, eat that then. Wow, I didn't realize I was already stocked up on those. Okay, so here we are in front of the cave. We're not going to spend too much time at the cave. But we want to run straight from the cave to the water here. And in the water, right around here, and keyword is right around here, there it is this little totem in the middle. And this is your shock baton. It's a semi-handy weapon, you know. It's basically, it's a cattle prod, you know, so it's a taser. But it's that, you know, it's a single-use taser. You can swipe it at people and like smack it around. Like I'm pretty sure, yeah, you just swing it around for like your main hit with it, and then your second hit, if I like charge it up, that's how you use the actual taser. It's a good weapon. You know, you can't really complain about. You can't complain about free, right? But is it going to be my weapon of choice? Hell no. Like it's one of those things where we're like, oh, okay, that's cool. Man, I don't have any tarps on that yet. All right, well, we're sleepy. We're also thirsty, so let's go ahead and drink something. Go ahead and eat something, too. And then grab a tarp. Man, it gets... when the sun sets in this game, it gets dark quick, right? All right, Kelvin, you're on watch tonight. Keep me safe, bud. I actually have no idea how close we are to a camp. I could be like right next to one for all I know. Hey, all right, made it to morning. It's always fun, right? When you make it to morning. So next order of business is finding a cliff to jump off of, so that way we can get back over to the rebreather cave, rock the rebreather cave, and then go from there. I do want to know if any more of the cutscenes are going to be big-headed. Like, you know, is the Get Down, Son, is that cutscene going to be big head, and we get to see Eric and Timmy LeBlanc with their big ol' heads? I am sincerely hoping. Was that the camp that we were just at? No, that looks like it still has stuff there. This looks like, yeah, we have not ransacked this one yet. Nice. Always handy to not really. I don't know what I was saying. Cereal, fantastic. So these, just like the original forest, I think you can just smack them open too. You don't have to sit there and hit anything. Pretty sure we got, oh wow, we still need circuit boards. So we've gone from having absolutely nothing on us to having a mostly full inventory. I shouldn't say full inventory, but we got a lot of crap here. Figured we'd eat some of these. Don't know our energy drink situation. Got 3 left. Once we get the shovel and we can get into one of the 3D printers and make a canteen, that's always a good thing. But all right, I just saw, you know, before we actually find a place to take off from, let's get some dirty water just while we're hanging out by this stream. All right, Calvin, take a drink and then we're heading back. Okay, bud? Cap. Cool. So let's find a ledge to jump off of. Is that going to be high enough? This might be high enough. Just run back this way and go where that waterfall was. And this should be high enough to at least get us started. Whee! That'll do. Just need to get altitude quickly. Alright, so we're heading back over to the rebreather cave, which is also known as where our helicopter crashed. So it's all the way over that way. A little bit of a hike, but not a big deal. And away we go. Alright, and then altitude. Come on. See, that's what I was worried of. I was worried we weren't going to be able to get enough altitude off of that. Alright, let's just squeeze through here until we find another cliff. Just seems like the more logical thing to do instead of put this thing away. Come on, squeeze through. It's a foldable glider. You should be fine with it, right? Alright, this might work. Alright, was able to actually get up to the tree line now. There's a little clearing. I guess so. I mean, it's Kelvin. Rules don't apply to him. It's Kelvin. Like, I don't know. You know, hang on. I really want to see. Oh man. Okay, hang on. I hope this doesn't break anything. Free camera on. Oh, apparently the free camera does not work when you are riding in a hang glider. Oh well. Oh well. Can't complain about that. All right, so there's our helicopter over there. Let's cut over this way. Hey, 312. Thank you very much for your subscribe. We really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and just get a little more altitude, and then we'll cut through. Gotta love riding in the hang glider when you start going so fast that the world around you hasn't fully rendered, and so you're just kind of listing through here. Oh, some enemies on the ground running around. You can definitely see them with the big head there. That's fun. I do love this filter. It's a fun little filter, that's for sure. But man, I'm gonna struggle to get through an entire playthrough with big head on. It's a little ridiculous, and I think that in some of the crowded places, it's definitely gonna get ridiculous too. Thank you for the subscribe. Appreciate 313 there. And everybody, just so you know, we do have some fun ideas with our subscribers. We were thinking about doing a 300-plus person RimWorld simulation where all of our subscribers who have channels that we can actually see who you are and who's subscribed to us. We are going to have your names up in the RimWorld and stuff like that. We were going to just put together a random simulation where nobody has any advantage over anybody and see how our subscribers survive in RimWorld. Okay, so over here to our left is the rebreather cave. Oh, let me look at the map for you guys. Sorry. Vertical streaming's fun. You start getting used to having to show off different things here. And for the record, if you're on PC and you're watching this, like, we appreciate our PC viewers and stuff like that. You guys are awesome. But we do vertical streaming because there's a big mobile audience that hangs out on YouTube, and we like chatting with them. So if our little tiny narrow screen annoys you on PC, grab your phone, check it out on mobile, and you might actually enjoy it a little bit more here. Okay, so the rebreather cave is behind me, but I'm going to make this little detour because there's this camp over here, and it is my favorite weapon in the game is at this camp. So we're going to pop down here, and they even put one of these dudes holding one of the markers to make sure people see it, because there's the machete. Oh, and it is beautiful. It is a pretty weapon. To be honest with you, I do not think that it is any better or worse than any of the other like starting melee weapons in the game. I really don't think that it's any better than like the survival axe, but it is worthwhile in my opinion. What? There was a raw head in there? There was a raw head? Why is there a raw head in there? I do love that. How, like, number one, the head is dripping blood. Like, that's fantastic. That's amazing. And then number two, you can scare people with it. Anyway, all right, sorry. Raw oysters, yum. Might as well eat this ramen, make myself thirstier. Delicious. Luckily, there's some sodas. Man, so much stuff. Like, you have to walk away from so much good gear because, I mean, like, obviously your inventory is all full and you can't afford it or fit it or anything like that. But still, like, there's sometimes where you just don't want to walk away from extra solar panels or light bulbs. Sorry, thought I saw something coming at me. Still haven't picked up any coins yet, too, to make a sticky explosive. But we'll get them soon enough. All right, so now that we got our machete here, we're going to put this on the hotbar. So we got the survival axe on 1, we got the machete on 2, we got our pistol on 3. Let's do the rebreather cave. So rebreather cave is, it should be, emphasis on the word should. The rebreather cave should be one of the first caves that you encounter in the game. And I say should because you can do other caves, you know, like you can do it whatever. But you're not going to be able to progress too far along until you have the rebreather. Because the rope gun cave, the ancient armor cave, the shovel cave, pretty much all of the caves, I wouldn't say all, but, you know, I would say at least half of the caves have underwater sections in them. And so if you make it a point to go and find the rebreather first, which is, of course, going to be on the beach, the coastline, then it is extremely easy to get the rebreather and get through most of the other caves without worry. If I remember correctly, there's also some boats or some stuff here that we'll be able to loot. Let's check that out. No? Alright, well, let's just keep moving. Keep running to the rebreather cave. Also, when you leave the rebreather cave, you're right next to where your helicopter wreckage is, and you can spend a little extra time underwater getting all of that miscellaneous loot. And it's good loot. It's like the military loot, so it's like ammo and medicine and stuff like that. And so it's stuff that you're going to want to get. But, okay, rebreather cave, one of the easiest caves in the game. Won't take us long to clear through. Let's go ahead and knock this one out. We got a decent amount of armor. Emphasis on decent amount of armor. Don't need a skull. All right, and choppity chop. Really? You missed that one? Okay. All right. So there we go. First cave has been broken, which means that those creepier mutated enemies are going to start being a little more apparent here. I'll switch over to our flashlight. I said flashlight. Let's switch over to our flashlight. So how long did it take you to figure out that when your flashlight runs low on batteries, it actually gets a little bit dimmer? Anybody? Anybody want to admit that one? All right, let's grab our pistol here. Check out this note. Puff Corp outbid Sahara Therapeutics for Remote Island. If you remember Sahara Therapeutics, I feel like I repeat this stuff so many times because we played through this game so many times. But Sahara Therapeutics is the name of the organization from the original Forest game. And so that's a nice little Easter egg for people who recognize it. We are working with Puff Corp, basically, and it's a note revealed later on. Edward Puffton basically says, if anything happens to me because Giannu's acting weird, reach out to Jack Holt. Jack Holt will be able to find me. And so I am Jack Holt. Whoa, a little freeze there. And he needed to reach out and find me. So we're just going to take our time kind of sneaking through here. Getting these lag spikes too, which tells me that the big heads are close. Free meat. Should probably empty out my my rotten meat at this point. I do appreciate how this game just doesn't differentiate between human flesh and like other forms of meat too. Like you don't know what you're eating. It just says meat. You know? Could be a deer, could be your dear friend. But I do love the foreshadowing in this. You know, they show you the air canister. They show you all this underwater stuff as you travel through. Again, not too many enemies in this one. We're about ready to encounter the first enemies here. See, there's a good first enemy. Should probably be using some explosives on these guys, but realistically, it doesn't matter. You can stealth your way through. Is there no sanity? I don't believe there's sanity. I haven't really found a sanity setting or like parameter or anything like that. But like, you know how some games do it where they put like mechanics in the game and they don't really tell you about said mechanic. That's what Sons of the Forest is like. Like I'll bet you that there is some type of sanity system that is going to increase the aggressiveness of enemies or something, but it's like an unwritten feature or something. And I mean, I'm speculating here. I don't know for sure, but it's always just been apparent to me that you would need to do something else. That's weird. So he definitely got shot. This little finger dude over there, he definitely got shot because he reacted to the bullet. But he definitely... Bullet didn't make a sound. Sanity. I can't remember, actually. Yeah, Big Bird, if you can actually remind everybody, I cannot remember what the sanity did. It's been so long since I played The Forest, because I've just been playing Sons of the Forest. All right, this dude is just really starting to piss me off. Come on. That should not have happened. He went through an entire rank of armor, 5 headshots, and then some. That should not have happened. Whatever. Again, Sons of the Forest, you get captured. What? Don't appreciate that. Oh, well. The big head death is fantastic. I'll reload the big head playthrough on another one, but it's actually, I didn't look at the clock, and I started a little bit later today. I know that I only streamed for like 2 hours. Perks of being a dad with a full-time job with another full-time YouTube channel here. But anyway, I have to take off on this one because I didn't realize how late it was in the day already. Keep your fingers crossed. Jay might stream later on, but we'll come back with Sons of the Forest. That was fantastic. I got to do more big head. That was fantastic. We just saved, so it won't be that much longer before we're right back where we were. That was a terrible playthrough, though. Y'all can roast me as much as you want in the comments. That was probably the worst playthrough of Sons of the Forest I've ever had. I think it just lets you build a... Really? Okay. That would make sense. Just lets you build the effigy. Okay, y'all. Anyway, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll be back with more Sons of the Forest this week. I got on, like, I think an hour late today, and so I know this was a really, 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 really short stream here, but let me know. Let me know. Whatever. I'll see you guys later. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'm going to go lick my wounds because that was the worst I've ever seen myself in this game. Anyway, y'all, you have a great rest of your day. Keep it here on Base Legend. Hit that subscribe button. Bye.